Hello everybody, my name is Anju Esther Balakrishnan. I'm an intern of LEXIS and Company, and I'm here to talk about whether Iddah is a boon or a bane. Iddah or Iddat is a practice followed by women under Muslim law where they have to remain in seclusion or abstain from marrying another person during the dissolution of marriage or the death of the husband. However, the period of Iddat varies in both situations. In cases of dissolution of marriage, it's a period of 3 months because it's believed that 3 menstrual cycles must be monitored in order to verify whether the woman is pregnant or not. The period of Iddah is followed because it's believed that it avoids the confusion as to who the father of the child would be. If a woman marries before the period of Iddah and she's found out to be pregnant, it could lead to confusion regarding the paternal rights of the child. In order to avoid such confusions, Iddah is followed by women under Muslim law. In cases of death of a husband, Iddah is followed for a period of 4 months and 10 days. It must be understood that if it is found out that the marriage is not be consumed, then there is no need in order to follow Iddah. In the case of dissolution of marriage, however, in the case of the death of husband, even if it's found out that the marriage is not being consummated, the woman would have to follow a period of Iddah. In case that the death of the husband happens when a woman is already undergoing the process of dissolution or undergoing the period of Iddah that needs to be followed during dissolution, or has already been separated from her husband, she must again start a new period of 4 months and 10 days in order to show her grievance for the death of the ex-husband. It must be understood that Iddat would only be followed from the date of death or dissolution. That is, if the information regarding the dissolution of marriage or death reaches after a specific period and the wife comes to know about it only after a specific period, then they would not have to follow Iddat. During the period of Iddat, the woman gets deprived of everything outside her deceased husband's house or the house that she's currently residing, which means that she must not leave the house until and unless she is the breadwinner and the sole income in her family. If she is the only breadwinner and the sole mean in order to gain income, then she could go and do her work. However, she must reach home before nightfall. In cases of medical emergencies, she must be accompanied by somebody who she cannot get married to. A woman who follows Iddat cannot attend funerals, even if they are of her close relatives, or cannot visit relatives who are ill or meet friends, which basically means that they have to stay in seclusion and they would be isolated from everything outside the particular place that they're staying. There was a time where it was believed that women observing Iddat could not claim maintenance and were not entitled to receive maintenance. However, it was seen under Muslim law that the husband was supposed to maintain a divorced wife. And we can see that the Muslim Women's Act states that the husband has the responsibility to maintain the divorced wife even after the commencement of the Iddat period, irrespective of the economic situation or the status of the woman, in order to ensure that women are protected and have equal rights. Basically, the claim where the woman cannot claim maintenance have changed, and right now women can claim maintenance. However, the practice of Iddat is still considered to be discriminatory, and there are a lot of controversies and criticism regarding the same, because it's believed that it's not unfair towards women who have to stay in seclusion, where the male can get married right after dissolution or death of their partner, while woman has to follow a particular period. Even though it is done in order to determine the pregnancy, it's still believed that men too can stay in isolation or can stay in seclusion in order to give company to women. The question as to whether Iddat is a boon or a bane depends upon our perspective towards the whole situation. Now that we have understood what Iddat is, I leave it upon you in order to determine as to whether you consider it to be a boon or a bane. It depends upon each of a perspective. It depends upon each of our attitude and understanding upon the situation. As a law student myself, I do not have a particular answer as to whether it's a boon or a bane. I do believe it's a little bit discriminatory that women have to get completely isolated from the outside world. However, the answer as to whether it's a boon or a bane still remains unclear. It depends upon our own perspective, and hence I leave the question upon to you. I hope that you guys have had a little bit understanding of what the practice is and how women have to go and practice and follow the period of Iddah. Thank you for your time and your understanding. I hope it was helpful.